This is what you won't do if you want a fast track to spiritual awakening. Actually, a lot of people out there are actually on the fast track to spiritual awakening because of one thing. They have been living with a narcissistic person or someone with very high narcissistic behaviors. In most cases, it's actually people's parents. So that could look like people gaslighting you. It could be that they will take power and have power, hold power over you, and will almost be so competitive in any sense of the word that you will never actually feel that they're really listening or respecting you or loving you, but somehow they also make you feel good sometimes. And when they make you feel good, it makes you feel really good. I think in many ways, narcissistic people are the educators on earth. We need to go through some pain to understand what empathy and love is and kind of understand the journey of that. But it also is very tedious, it's very tough, it's very hard to go through that, especially alone, because usually it's in a relationship with your parents or it's a relationship with a spouse or a husband. In these cases with parents, they will gaslight you, they will always give you conditional love. You're never good enough if you don't do this, this, and this, and this, and so on. It's never unconditional love, whereas like, I don't care what you do, I will always forgive you, I'll always love you. Narcissistic people tend to give you this feeling that if you don't fall in line, something really bad is going to happen. Some of them are mostly not that harmful, but the worst thing for a narcissist is to be found out. Absolute worst. There's nothing worse than that. It's like losing their life. That's like, this is dying, and this is like, and this is dying, and this is being found out. So to really understand a narcissist is, you will never understand them. So let's be very clear in that. And you can feel so stupid that you didn't see it coming, and they will make you feel like everything's your fault. And it will make you feel like you were the one that was dramatic or causing the problems, causing drama. But in fact, it was their behavior that led you there. And what you did and the way that you behaved was very normal. But the problem is, they're so good at manipulating, so they'll tell you it's all you. And this is where most people lose themselves. And during losing yourself, you will start your spiritual journey often, awakening, understanding that these people are not to be reasoned with. They will gaslight you and tell you things are not the way you see them. They will hold power as long as possible. And the worst thing is that when they lose power, they will they'll do big drama, and they'll step over your boundaries, their own boundaries. They'll do things that they will regret, but they will never admit to, and they will never say sorry for anything that they ever did. They will tell you that they would have been sorry if it wasn't you that caused all the problems. That's something that's pushing on, and it's so tedious, it's so tough to go through. But I understand that what I learned from all the narcissists that I've met in my life, because my dad was one, and so I somehow attracted that. And what happens often to people who lived in a relationship with their parents like this, that we tend to please them, become healers, empathetic healers that always wants to fix them, always wants to save them, and we don't like to see them suffer. But in fact, they use that to hold power and have power. They're excellent, like supermen and superwomen who knows exactly what you're turned on by and turned off by. And they'll use it to their benefit. Anytime that you think you're on top of things, they'll push it, they'll do it, and they'll even be super patient with it and do it a little bit every day, a little bit, until you one day be like, that's enough, I can't handle this anymore, and blah blah blah. They'll be like, oh, look at you, you're so dramatic. See, I'm not the dramatic person. You can see, you cannot even be behaving proper in a setting like this and you chose to be very dramatic. There's nothing new here, and they'll really gaslight you very strongly. So understand that you cannot understand a narcissist. They hold on to power and control so much that even if you were an excellent copycat or psychiatrist, you would not figure them out, because they're like a constant game of trying to not be found out. Finding out, like I said before, feels like dying to them. It's something that can ruin their life and give them deep depressions because they can't handle their own energy. They can't handle being alone. They always need someone to thrive on. And maybe they'll have breaks now and then and pretend everything's good, because maybe they're not 100% narcissistic, but they will get back on the horse and they'll try any way they can to exploit you and your energy, because in many ways you can say they are spiritually wise sometimes and can be very spiritually gifted because they're very good at reading people. But the thing is, they will always read the things in you so they can use it to their benefit. And if you're really good at something and they don't like you to be good at it, they'll start criticizing that part of you. Be like, that's such a shame. Like, you could be so great, but I think you're doing it all wrong. They want you to feel insecure and not in control. And the way that they do it is very cunning and very sneaky. And I would say it's not because narcissistic people are evil. It definitely feels like that, but they're not evil because they just don't know better. This is the way that they survive. And probably their parents were also narcissistic or had narcissistic behavior. So very often they would say things like, my dad would say this to me: I love you, but I don't respect you. Or I respect you, but I don't love you. Or if you only did this, you could become a good son. Or why aren't you more like your brother? Things like that will keep pushing you to try to do better and do better and do better. And they will try to manipulate any aspect of that to see if they can make you feel down or out or frustrated, because then they can hold that against you and then always pretend to be as soon as you raise your voice, they will lower theirs and be like, why are you making such a fuss out of this? That's very strange. Why are you so angry? It makes no sense. And like, they'll be very much like that. Because there's many different types of narcissistic people. Narcissistic people can also be very subtle. And I was in a relationship with one, many of them actually. And they can be very subtle and be like, oh, that's too bad. I mean, I would really love that, what you just suggested. But the way that you said it makes me feel like, no, I'm not going to do it because you said it in a wrong way and I don't feel comfortable about it now. Or they'll say something like, I recently had this experience. She told me if I took care of her kids, I would probably kill one of them, so she could never trust me. But then 2 days later, she asked me to take care of her kids. So, and also prior to this, we knew already no kids were dying when I took care of them. But they'll always have something against you, and they'll use it as a weapon, and this goes on and on forever and ever. If they want to have something on you that they can use, they will. Even someone watching this video might feel like, oh, is he talking about me? I'm going to use this thing against him. And they'll find something that you can use against him. So all the secrets and all the love that you gave them for such a long time, and all the sharing, they will use that against you to get you back, to manipulate you, to have control. It makes sense because they don't want to be found out. It feels like dying to them. So one thing I think is so important to understand is that there's nothing wrong with you, that you try to deal with all these things and you feel stupid that you fell for it like once again. But that's okay. That we all do that. Most people who are victims of, and that's my next point, most people who are victims of these things are feeling the same exact way of being, I'm so stupid, I should have seen it coming, there was red flags all over. No, you needed this lesson once again, reminded you of all this. And again, don't become the victim. The only way to shut down a narcissistic person or narcissistic behavior is to shut up, don't engage, don't try to fix anything, don't try to understand them. Release, let go. Follow for more. I'd love to talk more about this.